Weekly Talk the Show. I'm here with head men's basketball coach Travis Williams. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mata. How about yourself?
I'm all right. Well, you guys had a real good season. You guys finished 16-3 in the conference, above 500. In hindsight, talk about how you felt you guys did this year.
In hindsight and reflection, I felt we did very well. I definitely viewed it as a successful season, even though it didn't end the way we would like. I felt that the program did take a couple steps forward as far as developing some of our younger players, especially after the pandemic. Good to see those guys take major leaps towards their academic and athletic careers, on the court. And home playoff berth, that was one of our goals. We were able to accomplish it. We just weren't able to complete that goal to get us to our next goal. Yeah, so I would say overall, I would say thank you for saying that it was a successful season. I know we're over 500 and everybody looks at wins and losses, but I felt like team chemistry-wise, too, we took a lot of steps forward as well.
Absolutely. And that's going to bode well heading into the next season for sure.
Indeed. We have about 11 players coming back, looking for our seniors to really pick up and lead the way, preseason, in season, and, be ready to do it all again next fall.
Absolutely. Now, you guys finished the year winning 8 straight conference games. What was the spark? Like, what led to that spark from your perspective?
I'd say from my perception, it was more so like guys coming together at the right time, guys really settling in their roles. Coaches always say coming together, right? But it really means settling in their roles, knowing who's the guy who's going to be able to get it into the lane for the kickout for an open three, knowing who your defenders are, and having a deeper grasp of our defensive schemes. I felt really led to that stretch of the 8-game winning streak. Another thing that I think played a big part into that as well is just the heavy road traveling. We had 19 away games, and we played some tough non-conference opponents, which allowed us to, when things kind of leveled out and we all knew when we were all on the same page, we were able to be successful. Yeah.
Now, you felt like those early games against the non-conference opponents helped you guys out in the long run?
Definitely in the long run, because you can only stay in the moment when you have the moment, right? So having those moments and going against some of the tougher competition in the state or in the region, I felt that sometimes it's easier to dig a little deeper when you're playing with like competitors or your peers or someone laterally in our conference. I feel it's just to get the job done, and sometimes at the end of games it might pull through to help out, because everyone knows some of those other programs are getting money to for those players to be there.
Absolutely.
And they're very accomplished programs, so just hitting up against those every now and again I think can do you some good. It always says steel sharpens steel.
Absolutely. Now, you guys finished with the 2nd seed overall in the PSUAC tournament. You guys beat all the teams that were at the top of the conference. How does it feel to lose to those teams at first and then get them back?
It's nice. You always like to get a little bit of redemption. On a team, and it always shows the players a different thing. Like if we stick to the game plan, if we stay out of foul trouble, if we make our foul shots. So sometimes I always speak to the other variables that may not be as highlighted, like scoring, rebounding. In those type of games, getting back on teams or having a team maybe beat you previously in the season and then you come back and get a chance. It's really tough, when you do have like competitors over a season and to really, really see who's better in a competitive nature.
Absolutely. You guys did a great job at that, for sure. Now, for postseason awards, Deshaun Dixon, he was named to the PSUAC first team and All-American team, and Bryce Hensley was the Rookie of the Year in the conference. Let's talk about how those two helped the team out and what they brought to the team.
I would say Deshaun Dixon is, he's a tremendous force inside. He was able to, really get in physical shape in the off season, and you saw all of his hard work play out. Obviously last season, I want to say he put on probably about 15, maybe 20 pounds of muscle. So he was definitely a force to be reckoned with in the paint. And it seemed to be, very consistent as well. Like at night in and night out, we knew what we were going to get from Deshaun Dixon. Bryce Hensley, on the other hand, newcomer, local kid to the Schuylkill to the Schuylkill County area. Program very excited. It's been a long time coming. You know, since Justin Alvarez, we haven't had a local player. We have a couple more coming though in the recruiting cycle now this year. So we're excited about them as well. But getting back to Bryce, you know, Bryce, he's just a raw talent. You know, just a raw athlete. You know, had a football scholarship initially. He kind of landed in our lap. So we like to, you know, we always say Randy Moss passes. He goes up and Moss's guys comes down with the ball and can finish at the rim. So being very athletic at his size, you know, definitely plays to his skill set of getting to the rim, playing in transition and defending. Looking to see how he comes back for his sophomore campaign. We're expecting big things out of him.
Absolutely.
He is a little unorthodox, which we do appreciate about his playing style, because we feel that he's hard to guard just because he has so many different angles in which he can finish at the basket.
Now, you guys are pretty much returning the same roster from this previous season for next year. You guys only losing one player, Ryan Rowell. Just talk about, like, the importance of having a team play together for at least a season to, like, make everything gel.
You know, I haven't had too many opportunities to speak on about that. You know, having all of those returners, I want to say this is probably will be the most returners I've ever had in my career, 20 years. Bringing back about 11 to 12 guys. One thing I would say is they kind of know where they've been. You know, they all had the same triumphs. They all had the same disappointments. They all had to deal with coach for a year. You know, so I feel like one of those things building on one another. Hopefully, you know, we can have a clean slate moving forward as far as like getting over some of the woes that we had to conquer the season before. But I feel really good about bringing all the returners back and going at it again. I did say to the team last season, I said, this is your opportunity right now. You don't want to be in a situation where your back is up against the wall and it could be the end of your career for some of those seniors. But here we are, you know, so definitely excited to get back and do what we love to do.
Absolutely. Good luck to you guys, for sure.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
All right, before we end, we're going to talk about the camp that you will be hosting next month.
Oh, yeah.
Summer basketball camp. Just talk about that and what you guys will be giving out to the public. Providing for them.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, we it's going to be through the ages of 8 through 15. You know, we're going on like a little closer since we're a college program, so we're not bringing in the real little tiny ones. You know, we have kids college for that. So, you know, we're excited to, I've had a lot of calls and a lot of interest about the camp where, you know, some of the past players I played against, kids want to come and enjoy. Some of the rec centers are coming and really want to participate and have a good showing. We're really looking to build the skills, talk about some fundamentals, talk about some of the ins and outs of the game, some things that some of these little ones might not be, you know, exposed to yet. And then obviously we have the skills, we have the competitive nature. Kids will be competing in 1-on-1, 3-on-3, you know, hot shot competition, working on pretty much every skill there is in basketball. And we don't look to really, you know, water anything down. You know, I told Coach Killian, like, let's give them what we have. And then that way they kind of know where they are, you know, and then that's what you need a coach for, right? If you're faced with something that you're not ready to be prepared to overcome, you know, you need a mentor or a coach to get you through those things.
Absolutely. So
I feel that, you know, I'm going to take the same approach with this camp. I mean, I hope, you know, I can really establish a nice tradition here with Coach Killian, having this annually. But they're definitely going to get my best when they come here.
Absolutely.
At Penn State Schuylkill basketball camp.
Absolutely.
Coming up July 17th to July 20th, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
4 days of hard work.
Indeed. I did have a little precursor. I was able to work a couple other camps locally. I was working a camp up at North Schuylkill School District. They did go a little younger with some of the campers as well, but it was still a very, very fun experience. And sometimes you forget, you know, how much you get back from those little ones just learning.
Absolutely. I agree. Well, best of luck with everything, Coach.
Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate you. Have a great summer yourself.
You too. See you guys next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.